I'm John Cornforth at cornforthimages.com. I'd like to share with you some of my favorite Alaska landscape photos. This is the summit of Mount McKinley with beautiful fireweed in full display during the summer months. I spent a lot of time visiting Denali National Park over the years, and this is definitely one of the highlights of my photography of the summit. It's quite rare to actually be able to even see the summit of Denali, or Mount McKinley as it's known. And it's even more rare to be there at the right time and have beautiful golden light with the fireweed in display. During some of my other visits to Denali, I've hired an airplane from Talkeetna in Alaska and flown with a bush pilot over the summit, or maybe not right over the summit, but over the summits of the mountains. And this is one of my favorite images where I've lined up Mount Foraker and Denali being in the back and the left there and had these beautiful clouds. If I'd actually been down on the ground at like Wonder Lake at this time of year, I wouldn't have seen the summit. So it's nice to be up in the airplane and be able to see the mountains more clearly. This is one of my favorite images of Glacier Bay National Park. This is the Lamplugh Glacier with the lupin in full display during the summer months. I've spent a lot of time using my own small boat visiting Glacier Bay, and I spent several days in a row waiting for the conditions to be just right, where the wind wasn't blowing, to be able to photograph these flowers in full bloom in front of the glacier. This is the North Sawyer Glacier in Tracy Arm, which is located about 60 miles south of Juneau. I've spent a lot of time in Tracy Arm trying to photograph the glaciers as well as the harbor seals that live on the icebergs that calve off of these glaciers. Unfortunately, the glaciers have been retreating so much that this glacier is probably no longer in the water. This is Brotherhood Park located in Juneau. Very famous display of fireweed blooms there in late July, early August, with the Mendenhall Glacier and the Mendenhall Towers in the background. It took me about 4 summers to actually be in Juneau at the right time in order to be there for the right conditions and the beautiful golden light to photograph this scene. This image was taken in Columbia Bay near Valdez, Alaska, and Prince William Sound. These icebergs are calved off of the Columbia Glacier, which is one of my favorite locations in Alaska. At low tide, a lot of these icebergs get trapped on the old moraine bar where the glacier used to sit. And at low tide, I can walk around and get these beautiful reflections of the sky and the blue color of the ice. It's a really beautiful scene. This is the Chenega Glacier with an iceberg calving into the water and then a lot of seagulls and kittiwakes kind of down at the bottom. Chenega Glacier is probably one of the most amazing glaciers that I've been able to visit and photograph, and this is also located in Prince William Sound. This is the dwarf fireweed in bloom back in the Columbia Bay. You can see from the Columbia Glacier all the icebergs that are trapped on the old moraine bar kind of in the distance. These are the mountains of Wrangell St. Elias National Park. This is one of my favorite destinations I've been able to visit over the years in Alaska. I spent about a week driving out to McCarthy right after the park had closed in early September and had perfect light conditions, perfect fall colors. Here you can see there was even a little bit of a rainbow. I really became attracted to these pond lilies that were, starting to turn into fall colors, and soon this pond was going to freeze over for the winter. But I like the symmetry of this image and like how the 4 lilies all kind of make a pattern together. This is kind of one of my more abstract images using camera movement of a beautiful epic sunrise over the Arctic Ocean. Recently, I led my first aurora photography tour up in Alaska, and this is probably the best night that I saw the light, and I really like how the trees and the mountains and the symmetry of the aurora, everything kind of came together for this quite remarkable image. My images are available for licensing or as fine art prints for your home or office, or if you'd like to join one of my next trips, please visit my website, cornforthimages.com, or connect with me on social media. Thanks for watching.